What's the morally bad thing you don't regret doing?
I was an assistant general manager and my GM and HR decided they were going to fire an excellent veteran employee that was given, with no prior knowledge, stolen food from another employee. Essentially, one employee stole the food, then gave it to the excellent employee and said, "Hey, I got this for you because I really like you, enjoy." Whole incident was on camera. Employee that committed theft told us that the good employee had no idea it was stolen, and good employee said she never would have accepted it if she knew it was stolen. GM and HR said that we need to send a message to everyone that theft won't be tolerated, so let's fire both. I objected and was overruled. Both employees were going to be fired the next time they were scheduled, and by chance the night before good employee was to be fired, I ran into her on the metro. I told her exactly what was up and told her that she should fuck the company over before they have a chance to fuck her over. The next day she came in and slipped on a wet floor, injured her wrist, and was on workers' compensation for a few months. She then resigned before she could officially be terminated. They legally couldn't fire her when she was injured for risk of being sued. I left the company a few weeks after her accident. Edit: what I left out is that I plotted with her how exactly to fuck the company over, gave her specifics on where the best cameras and angles were, where our overnight cleaning crew constantly left puddles of water from the floor cleaning machine, and what types of injuries, that didn't involve blood, were typically most rubber stamped for continued treatment.
Not me, but my sister. I was about 14 at the time, she was 18. We were home alone, and she was getting ready for work when the phone rang. It was the police. A customer had walked into my dad's business, he operates it alone, and found him lying on the ground. They were scared something was wrong with him. Turns out he was completely shit-faced. At 2 p.m. police would rather send him home than arrest him. Found out later they had called my mom at work first, but she refused to help him. There were lots of other things going on that we didn't know yet. So then they called the house, got my sister, and convinced her to go pick him up and bring him home. So, by the time she gets back she's very late for work. She gets him into his room, and takes his wallet and keys so he can't drive anywhere. She grabs me, refusing to let me stay home alone with him, and starts driving me to my other sister's house to hang out for a while. She has to stop to get gas, and decides, you know what, Dad can pay for this. She opened his wallet, took all the cash, it was about $300, got her gas and dropped me off. She never gave it back, he never noticed. Edit: wow, this got a lot more attention than I thought. In case anyone is interested, my dad ended up getting a DUI not too long after. That was finally enough for my parents to divorce, which ended up being better for everyone. My dad went to rehab, and as far as I know hasn't had a drink in 15 years. Both parents remarried and are much happier.
When I was starting out in business, a coworker tried to undermine me with the higher-ups in a move that very nearly cost me a job. Prior to that moment we had been nothing but friendly and I certainly didn't see it coming, but thanks to the cool heads above me, no long-lasting harm was actually done. A few years later I was having dinner with a friend who mentioned having a very short list of people for what I recognized as a life-changing position. They mentioned my old coworker as they knew that their situation had some crossover with mine. My friend saw the look I gave at the mention of the name and probed further. I explained what I experienced, and the opportunity for that old coworker vanished instantly. They'll never know why or how their path got derailed, but it did. Their dream ended at a dinner they weren't even at. I made sure they'd never achieved the position I know they were after that absolutely would have made a huge difference in what became of their life. I literally took that opportunity away because they fucked with me once, years earlier. I don't regret it at all. Some days when I'm feeling down, I'll Google them and see they're still stuck where they were and it makes me feel better.